Here, everybody, Spectacular, the Silver Stacular, talking about a coin that just nobody wants to talk about right now. It's right here, the American Eagle 2025 1-ounce palladium reverse proof coin. That's right, palladium. Don't talk about that too much on this show. In fact, nobody talks about palladium hardly. It's super rare. It's actually rarer than gold by 10 to 30 times rarer than gold is. So pretty fascinating right there. I believe that it's taken a sideline lately. In fact, the spot price of it has been coming way, way down. On palladium, you can see right here about $1,100 an ounce as of the making of this video. And that, I believe, is due to the lesser need when it comes to industry. Catalytic converters due to like electric vehicles have been causing metals like platinum and palladium to kind of like, in my opinion, come down a little bit. But I believe that that's a temporary thing. One day, shoot, they're going to find out that it helps in the creation of antimatter and is going to be worth crazy amounts. Who knows? Who knows what the sky ends up holding for this stuff? But the sky is the limit, I think, ultimately. So we're going to go ahead and come back to this. This is on the US Mint website, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. So the price right now, as of the making this video, is to be determined. I would imagine a price of between $1,400 and $1,800. I would like to see $1,400 to $1,300 personally on this piece, just because, again, that price of palladium is only $1,100. So to get too much higher than that just for the minting of these pieces really starts to make you go, oh, what's going on here? However, I do believe that potentially this piece can do well. In fact, the only palladium piece I ever bought was one of these palladium eagles. I think it was 2019, and I believe it was one of the reverse proofs. Beautiful, beautiful coin, but I was like, you know what? Palladium is scary. I want to sell it. I sold it immediately for $1,000. It's actually a little bit over $1,000 more than I paid for it like a week later. So great investment piece, if you will. If you are just looking for it as a collector, I think you're going to love the piece. They look absolutely stunning. They're beautiful pieces. Very cool. It has the iconic Mercury dime imagery on the obverse and this really neat, kind of almost reminiscent of a Walking Liberty $half-ish on the reverse. A little bit with that larger eagle. I love how the eagle looks on it. In fact, other than it having borrowed a piece from the Mercury dime, it's a great coin. It's a great, great, nice looking coin. That being said, let's look at the numbers over here. Mintage limit of 6,000, product limit of 6,000, meaning they can only make 6,000 of these. Household order limit of only 1. Sometimes they raise the household limit as these pieces begin to not sell out, if that's the case. And then, you can end up getting 2 or 3 if they haven't sold out in a few days. Generally, that's what happens, right? Available September the 4th. So after you watch this video, get it ready, right? Start thinking about it a little bit. Go to their website, usmint.gov, and go check out the information about it. What they don't talk about, and what I think that people are really sleeping on with this particular piece, is right here. I'm going to go to the mintage numbers for the Palladium Eagles. And you can see that 6,000 is actually, when it comes to reverse proof, the lowest reverse proof Palladium Eagle in existence, right? The lowest. And you can see the reverse proof over here in 2019. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the one that I purchased. And ended up doing extremely well on it. Now, if you've noticed right here, right, they typically don't sell out, which is very interesting. You can see the mintage numbers over here, which is actually what was minted, and you can see the mintage limit over here. And in the case of 2019 West Point reverse proof, you can see that the mintage limit was 30 grand, and they were only able to mint 18,839. Now, in some cases, so you're like, well, Spectacular, look over here. Look how the 2023, 2024. Here's a 6,000 mintage limit on the uncirculated, and here's a 75,000 mintage limit on the proof. But they've only sold a fraction of what they have available. In fact, the uncirculated has 5,777, which they only have a few left before they're sold out. And the 2024 West Point proof has only sold 3,375. You can see the steep decline in the numbers, right? First of all, you can still buy the 2024 West Point from the United States Mint. So let's actually type in palladium and see what pieces we can continue buying as of today. So here's the new one, the 2025 1-ounce palladium reverse proof. That is to be determined again on the pricing, and has a remind me, which means it's not currently available. Again, September the 4th. Here is the 2024 1 ounce palladium proof for $16.95, and you can add that to the bag, so it is still available to purchase. So the mintage limit on those has not quite been hit yet, and you can see these numbers right here. And just because you see this number on this particular website, I've seen a few different websites and they have different numbers, so don't take that for like the gospel, but think of it as somewhere around that is where they are right now, 3375. But you can see that the demand for palladium seems to be in a decline. So there's two ideas here, right? One, that the 6,000 mintage limit on the new 2025 piece, this one right here, that is due to a lower than normal demand for palladium, and so they decided to lower the mintage numbers. But you can also see it as it is currently the lowest reverse proof mintage piece, period. And so let's get away from just the uncirculated and the proofs. But if we go to the reverse proof of 2022, the mintage limit was 7,500 and 7396 sold, right? So even if they make 6,000 of this newest one, that's still lower than the next lowest, which was the 2022. And before that, the reverse proof in 2019, again, huge mintage limit, 30,000 and 18,839 sold. So by far, this is going to be the lowest of the reverse proof mintage limits. And even if they do all sell out, it'll still be lower than where the other reverse proofs have ended their mintage. So it's very interesting. It's definitely a coin to be curious about. I think that potentially, depending on where the U.S. Mint puts out the price on this, it could do very well for you. And like I said, palladium has been in decline from the beginning of, right here. It's just been pretty much a straight decline on the price point, the spot price of palladium. So where this current piece is going to, put their feelers out for the cost, it's going to be interesting. I hope it's on the low end. I'm hoping for a $1,500 because that's a price point that I'm really comfortable with. If they start getting towards the $1,800, or if they go anywhere up from there, I'm going to be like, man, it's kind of scary. It's kind of sketchy right there. That being said, I think if you can get this coin at a lower price, it could be a good potential flip, but at the very least, it'll be a good collector piece, period. So something to think about, something I'm surprised nobody's talking about, that is currently the lowest mintage reverse proof palladium coin, period, and in line with the lowest mintage piece of any palladium pieces from the United States Mint as well, period. So you can see the lowest mintage is the uncirculated 2023. It'll be in line with that as well. Whether it sells as many, who knows, but we just have to wait and see. But let me know what you think down in the comments, whether you're, kind of in high hopes for that. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people curious about it. I'd say do your own research, see if this coin is right for you, see if it's a, gamble that you want to take. I think it's interesting for sure, and that's why I want to make a video about it. But Spegtacular, wait, where am I at? This guy right here is out.
Well, hello everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular.
When I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.